smokers, guys, we got stocks making moves like crazy today. We got stocks at 52-week lows. We got stocks making big downside moves. We got stocks that are at 52-week highs and are making huge moves upward, guys. And it's funny, I'm recording this on Halloween day, such a scary day. And some investors out there probably feel like it's such a scary day. They feel like it's the worst day ever. And other people feel like it's Christmas morning. So people are confused all over the place. And it really depends on what stocks you own actually, guys. Let's go ahead and get into this, guys. We got a bunch of stocks to look at here. First one is Wynn Resorts. This one almost touched its 52-week high today. This was on the back of some news that casinos pop on signs of partying after China's Communist Party Congress. If we look here, our latest consultant checks point to noticeable pickup in demand following the 19th Party Congress in China, with VIP and mass revenue up about 30% and 9% year over year, respectively, according to this analyst Harry Curtis. So that's good news. Obviously, you guys know that's my second biggest position, so I'm happy. China's partying. I can make some money. Remember, if you follow me on Snapchat, did you guys see I was at the Wynn the other night? I was spending all that money on those drinks, and I told you guys I was going to get that money back. Sure enough, I did. Next one up here is we got Under Armour, guys. Now, this is a scary stock. Holy smokers. This one it bottomed out today, down over 18%. Far and away, it's 52-week low today it hit. And this is after Under Armour has been, which has been seen as the biggest up-and-comer in the athletic gear and apparel industry, is finding itself on a new and confounding playing field these days. On Monday, the company reported a decline in sales and slashed its full-year sales forecast for the second time in 3 months. Holy smokers, guys. So this is like mind-boggling to me. I mean, when you slash your sales once, that's bad enough. Like, that's horrible. That's like, you're on the Titanic and you hit the iceberg and you're like, oh crap, man, we're gonna need to have another boat come save us or something. When you do it twice in a 3-month span, you slash sales. That means it's like, holy smokes, we just hit this iceberg so bad that we're going down within 30 minutes. Like it's way worse than we initially expected, guys. So huge news there with Under Armour. Really bad news. And even down here at $12 now, I'm like, this is a company that just keeps slashing down their numbers. I'm like, is it even worth it for me to get in this one? I look at it and I'm like, should I get in? Now it's down to $12. I looked at it at 14. I was like, maybe I should get in. 16, maybe I should get in, and I haven't. And I'm like, maybe I should now at 12. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, they just keep lower numbers, and it's like, when's this gonna end, guys? And sometimes people think it's a joke when I say, talk about like influencers. Jake and Logan Paul, these guys have clothing businesses that they advertise on their channels, right? They each are doing well over $10 million in revenue, each of them, okay? So people always think it's a joke when I talk about like influencers and how that's gonna be a huge disruption in the entire clothing apparel industry. People like laugh at me now like, oh yeah, give me a break. This stuff is real, guys. This stuff is real. When you got this guy over here doing $10 million in clothing sales, right? And you got this person that's an influencer doing $10 million. You got this person over here doing $20 million. And you got all these Instagram people also having clothing lines, and they're all doing, let's say, $1 million a piece, right? All of a sudden, these numbers start to add up, and they start to hit every single clothing company out there, guys. They start to hit every single clothing company, and it's slashed by 1,000 knives type situation instead of just a big sword. That's the way I see it, guys. And people think right now like I'm talking crazy about that stuff and how these influencers are completely changing the clothing game. Like in 5 years from now, everybody will see the vision I saw, and they'll be like, dang, look at all these clothing companies that have gone out of business. And by the way, a ton of them already are, guys. So the proof is right in front of you. MU hit its 52-week high. Holy smokers. First off, I feel so bad for my friend. He sold out of this one. He believed so much in Micron, right? It was by far his biggest position, okay? It was like his GoPro for him, right? And it went down a little bit, and he sold his entire position out. And I was like, why did you sell out of this? I don't know why he sold out. He was afraid it might go down more or something like that. I'm like, you believed in the company so much. It was your biggest position. Since that time, the stock is up around 50%. And by the way, that was only like 4 or 5 months ago, guys. So we're not talking about a huge amount of time there. Shares of Micron Technology up $2.55 or $6 per share at $44.20 after competitor Samsung Electronics reported Q3 results that indicated tight supply of DRAM and NAND flash chips, which will continue continue into the next year, bolstering the prospect of high prices and profits for them and Micron. When supply is tight like that, guys, that is a phenomenal thing for Micron. When there's too much supply out there, right? That just means prices are coming down. It's such a commoditized thing that prices come down, and that hurts a company like Micron, right? But when things are tight like that, and you need every one of those, that's great news for Micron, guys. Another stock that hit its 52-week low today is Blue Apron. This is a stock we mentioned on the 3 stocks I'm watching video, where I'm just talking about stocks I'm watching at the moment, and it's at its 52-week low again. It just keeps crashing. There's not even any news behind it. It's just down again. Shopify today went down around 8%. This one's still on a tear overall for the year. Shopify shares tumbled as much as 14 cents after cracks began to appear in the company's stellar growth rate. The Canadian e-commerce company reported revenue that beat analyst estimates for the 10th consecutive quarter. That's dang impressive there, I gotta say that. Raised its full year outlook, which is phenomenal, right? And recorded an operating profit ahead of schedule, but the shares tumbled as analysts honed in on slowdown in gross merchandise volume. The total amount of goods and services sold through Shopify. Executives also dampened sales expectations for the first quarter of next year as the company becomes more cyclical, okay? So real quick here on Shopify, right? Shopify. When you have a stock that's up massively like that, right? This stock range for the last 52 weeks was like $30-something, and now it's at 100. When you have a stock that goes up that dramatically, hundreds of percent we're talking, right? When you have a stock like that means it's priced to perfection, okay? So it needs every single thing to be perfect for that stock to continue to rise, right? Because it's gone up so much already. It's literally priced to perfection. There's some stocks that get beaten down so much that any bit of good news about that could actually have the stock go up. A stock like Shopify, on the other hand, that has just, skyrocketed near a 52-week high, right? That type of stock, you need everything to go perfect, otherwise it can go down, guys. So something to pay attention to there. Google McDougal almost hit its 52-week high. It was within a couple percent of it today, and they reported some unbelievable numbers. I mean, like 32% rise in profits. Unreal. Next up, we have NVIDIA. NVIDIA just hit its 52-week high today, guys. Now over $200 at $207 as we're taking this screenshot. It's hit its new 52-week high. That is another stock. And all I'm going to say about NVIDIA is for all people thinking about jumping into NVIDIA and all people that are current owners of NVIDIA, just realize you're in a type of Shopify stock in the respect of its price to perfection right now. Because this stock has risen so much, we're talking about a stock over the last 3 years that's up over 900%, up well over 900% in the last 3 years. When you're in a stock like that, just be prepared that you're in a stock that is priced to perfection. So if they come out with some great earnings next time or some great news comes out, but there's just one little thing that's off and then the stock goes down, you just cannot be mad at that, because just realize you're in a stock that's priced to perfection. Unless every single thing is perfect, you could potentially have that stock go down. So just be aware of that, NVIDIA shareholders out there. Qualcomm hit its 52-week low today, or very close to it at least. Qualcomm shares tumble amid reports that Apple might drop its chips. Shares of Qualcomm tumble after the Wall Street Journal reports that Apple was designing products for next year that would not include Qualcomm components. Qualcomm and Apple are in the middle of a legal spat, as we all know. I've mentioned that several times in this channel. Really bad news for Qualcomm. If that's true, you're losing, the number 1 or number 2 player basically in the mobile game. Qualcomm's all about the mobile game. Qualcomm has become such a giant company because they jumped on mobile and took mobile chips seriously before Intel or any of these other companies were really paying attention. So they got a head start on everybody, and they've grown into a giant company because of that. But with all the legal situation they have with Apple and Samsung right now, it does not bode well for Qualcomm. Does bode well for one of my investments, Cirrus Logic, though, because as far as the audio components, honestly, Cirrus Logic's biggest competitor is Qualcomm, right? So the fact that Apple probably doesn't even want to do business with them at all, that kind of leaves only Cirrus Logic to do business with. But that's not even so much my worry. Like Apple and Cirrus Logic have such a good connection and such a good relationship that in order for that to break up, it would have to be something crazy happen, right? The bigger thing is Samsung, right? right? Because if Samsung takes this approach, right, they're going to be looking for a full-time audio chip supplier. And who's right there? Who's got the manpower to do it? Who's got the capabilities to do it on a massive scale? Cirrus Logic. Cirrus Logic's really the only one out there as far as the audio codec game, and they already have a relationship with Samsung. They're in some Samsung devices, but not all of them. If Samsung makes that same type of move with Qualcomm, guys, this could be huge for Cirrus Logic, because I could only imagine if Cirrus Logic had all the Galaxy devices and all the Note devices out there, then we're talking about you got the best of both worlds. Not only you're in all the Apple phones, but then you're in all the Samsung guys. That would be picture perfect. I'm not getting my hopes up yet, but I'm just saying that would be freaking phenomenal for me. Alibaba hit its 52-week high today. This one reached around close to $185 a share. That's just a stock that's on fire. Ferrari hit its 52-week high today, over $120 a share today. Square hit its 52-week high today, over $37 per share. Why did I not buy that when I use that company for my real estate marketing business and I never invested in it? When I looked into it thoroughly at like $10 a share, and I never bought in. This was only like a year and a half ago or so. Oh my goodness gracious. So that covers what we had as far as stocks that are crashing and some stocks that are just skyrocketing at 52-week highs, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this segment. Hit a thumbs up if you did. Make sure you check out my first link there in the description. That's to join my private stock market membership group. That has a full 12-part stock options course that I literally just released about 48 hours ago, guys. Every single investor should understand stock options fully. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.